A crowd-pulling event today at Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral, Moliko, as members of the Catholic Women Association CWA from every angle across the national territory gathered on Boya to celebrate 60 years of the existence of the association. The grandiose event, presided by the Pope's representative in Cameroon, the Apostolic Nuncio for Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea, His Grace Jose Avelino Betancourt. Upcoming in this news edition, we peruse through the very fine moments, highlights and key speeches made at today's event. Also, GCE results are out already. The Catholic Education Secretariat of Boya, in a bid to maintain its standard performance, has embarked on the process of recruiting highly qualified teachers for the upcoming academic year. Those were our top stories. The news in details right ahead. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Divine Mercy Prime, the 24th day of July 2024. I am Sama Eileen for presentation. In the Jubilee and celebration at Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral, the Catholic Women Association in Cameroon has marked a significant milestone in their history aimed to promote unity and sisterly love amongst them. This Diamond Jubilee anniversary, this July 24th, 2024, held under the theme Mothers of the World, Mothers of the Church. The festivities commenced with a solemn Eucharistic celebration by the Apostolic Nuncio to Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea, His Excellency Jose Avelino Betancourt. For a closer look into this historic occasion, Mayor Nadesh gives us an overview of the celebration.
The Catholic Women Association CWA this day in Boya marked a significant milestone as they celebrated the Diamond Jubilee anniversary with visible excitement and devotion. This grandiose event, held under the theme Mother of the World, Mother of the Church, the celebration brought together members not only from Boya but also from other dioceses across Cameroon and in the diaspora. The celebratory mass was presided at by the Nuncio to Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea, His Grace Jose Avelino Betancourt, with a resounding sermon from the President of the National Episcopal Conference of Cameroon and Metropolitan Archbishop of Bamenda, His Grace Andrew Nkenya. The event also had other bishops of the Bamenda Ecclesiastical Province who graced the solemn mass with numerous priests, seminarians and religious. The atmosphere was filled with reverence and joy as prayers were offered for the past, present and future of the association. This day, dedicated in honoring the contribution of the Catholic Women Association of the Church and Society, saw activities such as reading for the day, heartfelt prayers of the faithful, and the symbolic procession of bread and wine, all conducted with grace and solemnity by the CWA members. The members of the Catholic Women Association adorned in their distinctive regalia with pride and happiness as they reflect on 60 years of service and commitment.
Even though I came along the line, I've told the line, and we have been moving together, we have been working closely together so that we all attain the goal of the CWA, which is to serve and not to be served.
Et je suis plein de joie aujourd'hui parce que on est en train de célébrer ce que Dieu Tout-Puissant a fait pour l'association de CWA. Et a tué de joie dans moi.
Founded in 1964 by Ma Anna Foncha, the association has steadfastly promoted unity and sisterly love among Catholic women across Cameroon.
60 years, they have a history, they have a tradition which is solid, well rooted, and they have a lot of resources to draw from in order to be able to continue into the future.
We have rules written down. We should follow those rules and then pray and ask our Blessed Mother to help them.
The celebration also drew a diverse gathering of Christians, family members, friends and well-wishers who traveled from near and far to join in honoring the mothers of the church. They shared their heartfelt wishes and prayers for continued strength and prosperity for the association and its members.
They do not express love among themselves. If they do not express humility like St. Joseph, they will not be able to overcome all of those challenges. So I'm actually very satisfied with the way the organization has taken place.
They should be more prayerful, because where the Spirit of God is, there is love, there is peace, there is harmony, and all what comes of.
Teach them that they should continue with long life, prosperity, and strength to continue to spread the growth to go all around the whole world.
We the men, we are learning a lot from the women, and the greatest wish is that they continue in that way and continue praying for us like we all heard. Mothers are mothers of the nation.
As the festivities concluded, the Catholic Women Association members expressed gratitude for the overwhelming support and love shown during the Jubilee celebration. The Diamond Jubilee celebration of the Catholic Women Association in Cameroon not only highlighted 6 decades of service, but also served as a beacon of hope and inspiration for future generations of women in the church and beyond.
Members of the Catholic Women Association in Cameroon and the world over have been described as women of hope and strength as far as for the past 60 years, they have brought hope to thousands of women, the girl child, and the entire church through their prayers and actions. His Grace Andrew Nkea was speaking during homily as he traced the roots of the association 60 years ago. From our newsroom, Aloysius Leke attended the event and now summarizes the homily in the following report.
The Catholic Women Association of Cameroon and the world over have been described as women of hope, as they have inspired thousands, especially the women and the girl child, through their works, prayer life and dedication for the past 60 years. This was during the Eucharistic celebration marking the 60th anniversary of the CWA, as thousands gathered at the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral for the Thanksgiving of Amazing Grace, as described by the Archbishop of the Bamenda Church Province, His Grace Andrew Fonya Kea, as he delivered the homily during this memorable day. Preaching from the Gospel of the day, the Archbishop likened Mama Anna Foncha to the sower in the Gospel text who, in 1963, sowed the seed of the Catholic Women Association in faith, and as God will want it, using her as an instrument to grow the CWA, has kept her alive till this day to witness the Diamond Jubilee.
It was in 1963 that, like the great sower in the gospel text of this morning, Mami Anna Foncha went out to sow. Like the sower, she sowed the seed with faith and did not know what God was using her to do. She made herself an instrument in the hands of God and allowed God to use her to nurse, to water, and to make the Catholic Women's Association to grow. Last year, 2023, we celebrated the 100th birthday of Mami Anna Foncha, and we praise and thank God who has kept her to see this day. Mami Foncha, God bless you.
His Grace Andrew Nkea went further to pay homage to all the founding members of the association who set the pace to what is today the biggest women association in the world. These founding members, 60 years ago, had as objective to foster unity and sisterly love amongst Catholic women, involved in social activities and act as a link between the Catholic women in Cameroon and the world over, have today touched the life of the church and the nation in so many significant ways.
You have taken very active part in the spiritual growth of the lives of the women in our church. You have worked hard to improve the condition of women and the girl child everywhere. You have done all within your powers to make your parishes and Christian communities true families of God. You have worked hard for the preservation of family values, and you have defended the authentic teaching of the Catholic Church on marriage and the family. You have contributed greatly to the formation of priests in our local churches, either through financial contributions or bringing material food and other necessary items to our seminaries. You have been prominent in all occasions of the church, from episcopal or priestly ordinations to final professions of religious men and women, and any other occasions that are organized by the church at any level. You have promoted the Marian spirituality, and you have done your best to imitate the virtues of the Blessed Virgin Mary, who is your mother and your model. We call you mothers of the church, and indeed, that is what you have been for the past 60 years.
Just like the great women in the Bible who brought hope to their communities, the Archbishop called on these women to continue being the hope in the church, the family, the society, and the nation, especially with the numerous crises faced today. His prayer and wish is that in the future we should have the names of these women who have toiled hard for this association added to the litany of the saints one day and be beatified in Rome.
We are hoping that one day we shall hear in the litany of the saints, Sancta Prudentia Chila, Sancta Dorothea Tokea Tabong, Sancta Emerencia Fonlon, Sancta Lucy Ephium. Mami Anna Foncha, we don't want to kill you before time, but we are waiting for that day when they'll insert also in the litany, Mama Anna Foncha. May God bless them.
As thousands depart from the Diamond Jubilee celebration, the word on every lip was thank you and long live the Catholic Women Association.
Now, the crowd-pulling event brought personalities of various classes to commune with the mothers of the church. Various speeches were made today, which culminated to the significant recognition of some members whose inputs in the association haven't gone unnoticed. Our reporter Jamilatu Tongtang was keen on these speeches and compiled the following.
As the Catholic Women Association celebrate their Golden Jubilee today, July 24, 2024, speeches of encouragement, cautioning, and gratitude from some leaders could not go unnoticed. The founder, Mama Anna Foncha, could not hide her joy and excitement as she thanked God for keeping her to see the fruits she and other founders had planted, while appreciating every CWA member for carrying the vision and running with it till day.
We know if we talk where I know first member, the founders, where they will be there. Some of them all don't go for heaven. And me are still there for here. So make we all pray and say the one where they don't go before, make Maria open gate for them. Make them there for that beautiful place. Maria in name, if it go for down, it must always go up. Maria, they lead we. It give peace for our country. It give peace for families and so on.
The Catholic Men's Association's president's representative began by appreciating the CWA fabric and cautioned the women to avoid unnecessary gossips and disorder, but rather show love and respect for one another. He added that these mothers of the church continue to shine the banner of CWA wherever they find themselves.
I want to use this occasion for congratulate Mama them for their Kabadem. Jubilee Kabadem. Wonderful Kabadem. Kabawe Mama they don't well, I will not even know na age them again. Oh, na they look na the same age. Even Mama punch away they here na the same age. Na so we see you now. With General President say me I tell Mami them. Now for talk Mami they say Mami they una don't big over big self. Say make una avoid gossip for group. Me una avoid jealousy for group. Me una avoid for quarrel for group. The word way it recommend for now love and humility. Because for self people you must show humility. So the two words they say una take and for you go home, love and humility.
Rounding off the speech session was the General President of the Catholic Women Association, Mrs. Chiatho Judith, who urged everyone to keep praying for the CWA mothers so they do not lose touch of that which has been bestowed in them, as the new generation is called upon to carry the banner of leadership and stand their grounds to equally passing it on, undiluted and uncompromised, as the challenges hitting the current leaders now might not be the same hitting the upcoming generation.
On behalf of the CWA General Executive, I am saying that we have, as unprofitable servants, done what we were obliged to do within our term of office. We pledge your continuous prayerful and material support to see CWA grow from strength to strength in her services in the family, church and society, so that all our names will be inscribed in the book of life with diamond ink. Happy Diamond Jubilee celebration.
The speech session of this celebration saw its close with a special recognition of some leaders and members who have been playing a significant role over the years, and equally those who did a unique input to see that the anniversary turned out to be all colorful and successful.
Moving on, today's Diamond Jubilee saw a remarkable fanfare from the members of the CWA who expressed happiness of being part of the event. After the Mass at Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral, Joseph Otop captured some euphoric moments and now tells us more.
Joy filled the explanade at the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral Parish Moliko as the members of the Catholic Women Association, both young and old, thrilled the bishops and emeriti bishop, guests and Christians of goodwill in the second part of activities marking the Diamond Jubilee celebration. The mothers of the church, both old and young, participated in march past, comedy, traditional dance representing various cultures. In the course of this celebration, some members expressed happiness being part of this milestone celebration of the association.
By God's grace, I have been one of those that has been given an award for being in the CWA for 50 years, and I've always felt very fulfilled. I've raised all my children in the CWA, my family in the CWA, and Mother Mary has done a lot in my life and in my family life, my friends' life, and so on. And I'm just so happy.
Since then, we have been toiling, we have been working to create a fulfillment of what this association it means or intends to be. I'm really very happy about this celebration.
because 60 years, as we say, is not a short period of time, it's a very long period of time. Even though I came along the line, I've told the line, and we have been moving together, we have been working closely together so that we all attain the goal of the CWA, which is to serve and not to be served.
The members also share their prospect as concerns the growth of the association.
One thing I want to say here is to encourage young ladies to join the CWA, because a lot of them think that the association is for old women. I want to say that they should take the cue from me, who joined at the age of 25. And today I'm rewarded with this medal of today. So young girls out there, please join the association and be able to raise your families properly.
It is hoped by all that the CWA women will continue to uphold their motto to serve and not to be served.
Let's now leave the Diamond Jubilee celebration of the CWA and talk something else. Preparations for the upcoming academic year have started in the Diocese of Boya as the Education Secretariat intensifies efforts to better the teaching workforce. On Tuesday, July 23rd, the Secretariat organized interviews with aspiring teachers aimed at selecting the best candidates to fill teaching positions in various schools across the diocese. Hilarion Clinton followed the interview process. He now tells us more.
Under the supervision of the Education Secretary, Reverend Father Vincent Miswe, and the Pedagogic Officer, those responsible for conducting the interviews received detailed instructions on ensuring a fair and thorough interview process.
At least the person should be able to understand basic concepts in his or her discipline. Those basics.
Then followed a comprehensive general orientation session for the applicants, where the interview procedures were outlined. Applicants were categorized into two main groups: the basic level, which involves nursery and primary, and secondary level. Those of the secondary schools are further segmented by their specific teaching subject, with each group undergoing tailored evaluation methods suited to their teaching levels and subject expertise. In the nursery and primary school section, candidates face assessment covering a wide range of teaching competence essential for early childhood and elementary education. On the other hand, at the secondary school segment, candidates were scrutinized based on their subjects and ability to effectively manage educational scenarios presented by interviewers. Mr. Tem Oban is the personnel at the Education Secretariat in charge of pedagogy. He expressed satisfaction with the overall conduct of the interview process.
The exercise has gone through hitch-free. Normally we started in the morning with an orientation with the panelists, those who conduct the interview. Then from there we had a plenary with the applicants where we explained the modalities to them.
The academic personnel, Mr. Oban, further remarked that the academic exercise is organized annually. However, he states it is programmed based on the needs of the schools within the diocese.
It comes up once a year, but strictly based on the needs from the schools. If there are no needs from the school, we don't organize an interview. But once there are needs from some schools, we go into it. Which means that normally speaking, if we didn't have needs from the schools, probably would not have organized such an exercise.
Mr. Oban provided insight into the applicants' pool, revealing that 51 candidates applied for nursery and primary schools, while over 100 candidates applied for roles across various subjects in secondary schools.
For the nursery and primary, we had close to 51 applications. Then for secondary, now looking at the different subjects, we had close to 187 applications from all the disciplines.
According to information from the Education Secretariat, classifications of these interview results will be made available in the days ahead. Also, they are to liaise with the Human Resource Office at the Bishop's House before the publication of the recruitment list.
You're welcome back. Results of the 2024 General Certificate of Education have been released. The GC board made public the results this evening, Wednesday, 24th July 2024. In the upcoming report, Hilarion Clinton from our news desk read through the results and now presents the situation of Catholic schools in the Diocese of Boya. Take a listen.
Catholic schools within the Diocese of Boya shines bright in the recently released GCE results for 2024. In the commercial sector, Ripakol Motengene records a remarkable 95.83%, with 24 sitting in for the exams and 23 succeeding at the intermediate technical and vocational education. Ripakol Motengene had a perfect 100% at the advanced technical and vocational education level. St. Paul's College, Bojongo, achieved a commendable 83.83% rate at the intermediate technical and vocational education and a flawless 100% at the advanced technical and vocational education. Enriqueta Comprehensive High School, Mukunda, also showcased commendable results with 100% both for intermediate technical and vocational education and advanced technical and vocational education. For the grammar section, Christ the King College, Chico, 38 sat for the ordinary levels, 35 passed, giving them a 92.11%, and at the advanced level, 58 sat with 54 succeeding, giving a 93.10% record. Bishop Brogan College, Small Support, St. Joseph College, Sase, St. Anne College, Limbe, Enriqueta Comprehensive High School, Mukunda are the 4 schools that tops the grammar section with 100% for both the advanced and ordinary levels. CUIB Entrepreneurial High School, Moliko, had 62 candidates with 60 students ticking the success list, giving them 97.77% for ordinary level. Our Lady of Lords Secondary School, Gardens, had a slight failure as 16 candidates succeeded out of the 17 students who sat in for the exams at ordinary levels. St. Paul's College, Bojongo, also shines at the advanced level for grammar with 100% and 86.67%. Sapakol Bojongo had 15 candidates for ordinary level and 13 pass. Juspita College, Bukwango, recorded 18 pass out of the 95 students that sat in for the ordinary levels. Their percentage 84.21 and 89.29 for advanced level, as 75 students crossed the carpet out of 84 students that sat in for the exams. This result celebrates academic excellence and also reinforces the commitment of the Catholic education system to empower students with knowledge and skills that prepare them for future challenges. As preparations begin for next academic year, the spotlight remains on sustaining these achievements and setting new benchmarks in educational standards.
Still in education, the University of Boya, the mentor university to the Catholic University Institute of Boya, has commended CUIB for following the guidelines given by the mentor university and producing good results. The evaluation was done during the 26th meeting of the Senate as the institution approved the second semester results for the 2023-2024 academic year. Aloysius Alike completes that story.
Sitting through the 26th meeting of the Senate of the Catholic University Institute of Boya CUIB, deliberating on the second semester results for the 2023-2024 school year, the mentor university, the University of Boya, says CUIB is actually following and keeping to all the terms and regulations given by the state. The representative of the Vice Chancellor of the University of Boya, Professor Fonge Beatrice, Vice Dean of the Faculty of Science in charge of Research and Cooperation, gave the institution a pass mark and says the little challenges faced by the institution is being faced by all institutions in the country.
My first appraisal about the whole thing is that the teachers as well as the administrators are doing their real utmost best to make sure that the students as well as the institution is at a certain level, and I want to really congratulate them and also want to say that being one of our mentee universities, they are doing extremely well. When it comes to their way of presentation, they have done their best to follow the format given to them. And they are also trying to do their best to make sure that they carry the students along so that certificates that are given to them should reflect what they have done and what they study, and also to take it outside to showcase the university, and more precisely to let them know that in CUIB they are doing a holistic way of training.
The professor, reacting to the performance of some students, a challenge faced by almost all institutions, says their poor performance is due to lack of concentration and distraction, and advised students to learn to take a step at a time and focus on their studies.
So the students' own part, some are doing their best as usual, some are also of the truant level, come to class because the president really complained about students not coming to class. But we are just saying it's a general worldwide issue that students don't concentrate. They have so much things that are pulling them from academics. And so my advice is always that children nowadays need a lot of follow-up. And so we as teachers, we as parents, should do as much as possible to tailor them and to make them see the importance of academics. Yes, some will say, will academics give you a job? It will. Because if you don't have the brains, even you cannot even go to any competitive arena to say, I want this job. So you need a bit of knowledge, and that knowledge is mostly gained both from school and from home. And so I really want to say that CUIB is doing their best, and I hope that as the school keeps growing, so too the students will be improving. But one caution will be that all of us should put all our hands on deck and push the students ahead, so that at the end of it all, we'll make Cameroon a better place. Thank you.
Parents and students are called upon to play their part towards the education journey, limit distraction on things that don't matter, and face their studies.
Let's end our news by taking you to some stories beyond our national borders. First up in Sierra Leone, where a court has found 11 persons involved in alleged coup guilty, while the man accused of leading the attack, Amadou Koita Makola, sentenced to 182 years in prison on charges of treason, murder, and many more. Also, Hamas and Fatah signed declaration in Beijing on ending year-long rifts. This comes as Israel and Hamas weigh an international-backed ceasefire proposal that will wind down the 9-month war and free dozens of hostages held by Hamas. Details of these stories from across the globe have been compiled in the following report. Take a listen. A court in Sierra Leone found 11 people guilty of treason and other offences following what authorities have called an attempted coup, with their leader sentenced to almost 200 years in prison, a judiciary spokesperson said Tuesday. In November, dozens of gunmen broke into the country's armory and into a prison where the majority of the more than 2,000 inmates were freed. The clashes left 18 security forces dead. Authorities at the time said they arrested around 80 suspects and a dozen were charged in January, including former President Ernest Bai Koroma, who was later granted medical leave. The man accused of leading the attack, Amadou Koita Makalo, was sentenced Monday to 182 years in prison on charges of treason, murder, and shooting with intent to murder, said the judiciary spokesperson Moses Lamin Kamara. Elsewhere, Palestinian factions Hamas and Fatah have signed a declaration in Beijing on ending a years-long rift, Chinese state media said Tuesday, taking a step toward potentially resolving the deep divide between the sides as the war in Gaza rages on. The declaration is the result of the latest in a series of talks meant to unite the sides. Previous declarations have failed, casting doubt over whether the China-sponsored negotiations might actually lead to a resolution. It comes as Israel and Hamas are weighing an internationally backed ceasefire proposal that would wind down the 9-month war and free dozens of Israeli hostages held by Hamas. But even after a deal is signed, the vision of a post-war Gaza remains in doubt, with Israel vehemently opposed to any rule by Hamas in governing Gaza. And U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has reportedly gained enough pledged delegate support for a likely Democratic nomination. In the event of a face-off between Donald Trump and her, the vote of black citizens will be important in order to win the November 5th election. Harris will need to court voters beyond an anti-Trump sentiment. Recall here that black voters helped power Biden to victory in the last Democratic primary and presidential poll. Many Democrats followed Biden's lead in expressing their support for Harris. The Congressional Black Caucus said it fully backs the vice president. The Republican and Democratic parties have distinct strengths within different subgroups of the U.S. population. 59-year-old Harris, who is of Jamaican and Indian descent, will seek to energize black and Asian voters. It is on that forward note that we pull the curtains on today's edition of Divine Mercy Prime. But before we go, we remind you of our top stories. A crowd-pulling event today at Divine Mercy Cathedral, Moliko, as members of the Catholic Women Association CWA from every angle across the globe gathered on Boya to celebrate 60 years of the existence of this association. The grandiose event, presided by the Pope's representative in Cameroon, the Apostolic Nuncio to Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea, His Grace Jose Avelino Betancourt. Also, GCE results are out already. The Catholic Education Secretariat of Boya, in a bid to maintain its standard performance, has embarked on the process of recruiting highly qualified teachers for the upcoming academic year. I have been smiling for a presentation, thanking you all for your keen and kind attention. Just stay tuned to Divine Mercy Radio Television for more interesting programs tonight on your darling TV. Until tomorrow, God bless you. We'll be here for another edition, God willing, when it will be 7 p.m. Bye.